Hello and welcome to Express News. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. We'll start with top story. Indian Parliament reconvened on Thursday for the 14th day of the ongoing winter session today. In the lower house of the Indian Parliament, the Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur moved the Press and Registration of Periodicals Bill 2023 for consideration and passing. The bill provides for easing the process of registration of newspapers, journals and books. In an update on the Indian Parliament security breach probe, police custody of 2 people and their associates who entered Parliament end today. The police will seek for further custody of the accused from the court on Thursday. The Patiala House Court had sent all 4 accused to police custody for 7 days. In the upper house of the Indian Parliament, India's Home Minister Amit Shah moved the 3 revised criminal laws for consideration and passing. The 3 bills replaced the Indian Penal Code of 1860, Code of Criminal Procedure of 1973 and Indian Evidence Act of 1872. The Chief Minister of the Indian capital, Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, has termed the Enforcement Directorate summons issued to him in the Delhi excise policy case as politically motivated and asked the central agency to retract it. The Delhi Chief Minister was summoned by the Directorate for questioning on Thursday. The Aam Aadmi Party convener is on a 10-day Vipassana session in the North Indian state of Punjab, sticking to his pre-announced schedule. In the aftermath of a heavy rainfall, central team of officials recently surveyed several districts of southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, which continue to reel under severe flood-like situation. The basic amenities amid the flooding pose ongoing challenges for the populace as the district of Tuticorin continues to grapple with the repercussions. In response to the crisis, both state and central relief and rescue efforts are underway. The Chief Minister of the South Indian state, M.K. Stalin, also visited Tuticorin today to assess the situation. The Indian Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard and National Disaster Response Force are working in tandem to rescue and relief work at various locations in the state. Furthermore, power restoration remains pending in various sections of the district, exacerbating the already distressed situation. Despite this, flight operations have recommenced at the Tuticorin airport, offering a glimmer of connectivity amidst the turmoil, and food is being cooked and dispatched from the relief camps. Relief and rescue work continues in flood-ravaged areas of Tamil Nadu. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin was seen distributing relief packages to the residents affected by the flood in Tuticorin. Spread of JN1, a sub-variant of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that caused COVID-19 in the first place, is becoming a cause of concern. Indian Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya conducted a review of health facilities nationwide. The southern Indian state of Kerala reported over 300 new active cases of COVID-19 as per the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The total number of active cases of COVID-19 in the country stands at 2,669. Pursuant to the US $1 million relief assistance announced for the Pacific country, India sent relief supplies to Papua New Guinea on a special charter flight. Microblogging site X hit a technical snag around 11 a.m. today in India. Both the website and the mobile application showed welcome to your timeline instead of the regular tweets on the feed. X users were shown an empty timeline with only options to follow, more accounts being displayed. Business news now. In the Indian markets, the Sensex gained 358.79 points to close at 70,865.10. Nifty gained 104.90 points or 0.5% to close at 21,255.05. Gold was trading lower at USD 2,037 per ounce in the global markets on Thursday. Silver was up at USD 24.25 per ounce in the global markets on Thursday. Oil prices steadied on Thursday, with Brent trading near $80 a barrel as higher inventories and record output in the United States overshadowed jitters over global trade disruptions in the Red Sea. Brent crude futures rose 13 cents to $79.80 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude was 4 cents higher at $74.26. The Indian rupee ended at 83.26 against the US dollar. US stocks closed lower after an abrupt mid-afternoon sell-off snapped Wall Street's rally, which had been driven by falling interest rates and the Federal Reserve's dovish turn. At the Wall Street, S&P 500 lost 70.02 points to 4,698.35, and the Nasdaq Composite dropped 225.28 points to 14,777.94. Denmark's largest trade union joined a Swedish strike against Tesla. The strike involves dock workers and lorry drivers stopping the unloading and transportation of the Tesla cars destined for Sweden. China on Thursday warned Philippines that any miscalculation in the escalating dispute in the South China Sea would bring a resolute response. China's foreign ministry also said that it hopes the Philippines will work properly with the country to manage the situation in the South China Sea. Taiwan has accused China of economic coercion after Beijing announced the removal of tariff cuts on 12 chemical imports from the island. Reiterating Israel's vow to eliminate Hamas, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the terror group's members only have two choices: surrender or die. The Israeli army has released a video showing weapons in a school complex in Gaza. The IDF said its soldiers enabled the evacuation of civilian population from the school complex. Top Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh is in Cairo as Egypt tries to broker a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Intensive talks are being held on a truce to allow additional aid to reach Gaza and free more hostages. The top diplomats of the United States, South Korea and Japan on Wednesday condemned North Korea's recent ballistic missile launches. The United States flew long-range bombers for joint drills with the South Korea and Japan on Wednesday with an aim to strengthen joint response days after North Korea performed its first intercontinental ballistic missile test. South Korea and Japan have resumed high-level economic talks for the first time since 2016 in a sign of improving ties amid shared geopolitical concerns. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has said Pyongyang would not hesitate with a nuclear attack when an enemy provokes it with nuclear weapons. The US Congress is not expected to pass any additional funding for Ukraine before the new year as lawmakers remain divided with support for the almost two-year conflict. Ukraine's air defense shot down 34 out of 35 Russian drones launched in a major overnight attack on 12 Ukrainian regions. Russia has handed out over $12 billion in state subsidies and loans to prevent its civil aviation sector from collapsing due to Western sanctions. French President Emmanuel Macron defended a controversial immigration reform, describing it as a shield, stating that the legislation passed by MPs on 18 December was needed to cut an influx of illegal migrants. Ireland has announced legal action on Wednesday against the UK government in the European Court of Human Rights over a law granting immunity to combatants in the Northern Ireland conflict. Venezuela's government freed at least 20 opposition-linked prisoners and 10 Americans in exchange for the US release of an ally of President Nicolas Maduro. Elections in the Democratic Republic of Congo have been extended after widespread delays, opposition allegations of fraud, violence, and logistical setbacks. Thousands of people took to the streets of Buenos Aires to protest against the government's economic shock measures in the first real test for Argentina's new libertarian president, Javier Milei. Argentina's president has signed an economic reform decree that will end limits on exports and authorize measures to loosen regulations as his new government combats a severe economic crisis. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif praised India during his address to the party Cairo on Wednesday. He said India has reached the moon, but Pakistan has still not risen from the ground. In the aftermath of heavy rainfall, central team of officials recently surveyed several districts of southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, which continue to reel under severe flood-like situation. The Indian Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard and National Disaster Response Force are working in tandem to rescue and relief work at various locations in the state. A thick layer of fog engulfed the Indian capital city Delhi along with a cold wave on Thursday. The temperature stood at 7 degrees Celsius early in the morning. Iceland's Prime Minister Katrin Jacobs' daughter announced that the country will work throughout winters to address housing issues caused by the evacuation of Grindavik due to a volcanic eruption. The town, which had nearly 4,000 inhabitants, was evacuated last month. The government has bought 70 flats for the evacuated residents to move into before Christmas. Survivors of the deadly earthquake in China sought shelters in temporary tents in sub-zero temperatures as they fret over potential aftershocks of the quake. China's financial hub Shanghai witnessed chilliest period in December in 4 decades, spurring authorities to issue warnings for low temperatures and wind. On Thursday, wildfires ravaged at least 2 residences in Western Australia's Parkville, prompting immediate evacuations for the residents. This marked the 4th high alert fire in the state over the past 48 hours, with the volatile weather conditions posing challenges for firefighters combating the blazes. The residents in the devastated eastern Ukrainian town of Liman are preparing for a difficult winter as snowfalls and the temperature have dropped significantly. 2 idols of Lord Ram made of glass fiber have been sent to the Indian city of Ayodhya in the state of Uttar Pradesh by a sculptor from West Bengal. The sculptor Muhammad Jamaluddin made 2 idols of about 15 to 16 feet high. These 2 idols reached the Ram temple in Ayodhya ahead of the inauguration ceremony next month. A 108 feet long incense stick is being prepared in the Indian state of Gujarat. It will be sent to Lord Ram temple in Ayodhya ahead of the temple's opening ceremony to be held on January 22nd. The preparations in Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya are in full swing. Various infrastructure projects are underway in the city as the place is expected to host lakhs of pilgrims in the coming months after the temple is inaugurated. For the Christmas celebrations, India's tallest Christmas tree has been set up in the state of Karnataka. Towering at an impressive height of 100 feet, the tree stands as the centerpiece at Bengaluru's Phoenix Mall of Asia. The colossal tree is a beacon of holiday cheer adorned with enchanting decorations and featuring lively elves and Santa Claus spreading joy in the surrounding area. Meanwhile, Paris is adorned with Christmas lights and decorations as the holiday season approaches, preparing for 2024. The City of Lights from the Eiffel Tower to the Champs-Élysées captivates residents and tourists with festive illuminations on its famous avenues and shop windows. Moscow's Red Square hosts a festive market with decorations and ice skating rinks, while Christmas market under a refurbished former stock exchange features a Christmas tree and attracts tourists annually. Brussels' Christmas market celebrated the holidays with waffles and beverages. Located under the refurbished former stock exchange, the main attraction was the Christmas tree in the Grand Place Centre Square, lined with Baroque guild halls and City Hall. Colombian city Bogota streets were filled with Christmas cheer as the Colombian capital prepares for the holiday season. A steam train decorated with festive lights featuring Santa Claus and elves entertains adults and children. Bogota's Botanical Garden also hosts a night show featuring LED-lit eco-friendly animal figures. Ahead of celebrations in an enchanting display, the Fairchild Tropical Botanical Garden in Florida's Miami introduces a captivating light installation transforming the garden into a jungle-like paradise. Archie, a 137-year-old tree, serves as the focal point at the heart of this event as it greets and entertains visitors with lively conversations and humor each evening in the garden. Amidst the holiday rush, a man dressed as Santa Claus took a moment to pay a special visit to the Eiffel Tower Christmas market in Paris. He delighted tourists of all ages with warm greetings and cheer. The Eiffel Tower Christmas market runs until January 15. It is also the first time the most visited monument in the world hosts this type of event. The famous 2024 numbers for Times Square, New York's New Year's Eve arrived in New York City after a cross-country journey highlighting the all-electric vehicles trek. The 7 feet tall numerals 2024, illuminated by 588 energy-efficient LED bulbs, will light up at midnight on December 31st. Toronto's iconic Bergsey Park got into the holiday spirit with canine-themed lights. Dog statues dressed in winter scarves and sweaters are attracting the visitors. Christmas light tunnel attracted crowds of people in the Norwegian capital of Oslo. Fans of Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan celebrated the release of his film Dunki like a grand festival across cities in India on the film's opening day on Thursday. BTS members joined the exclusive $7.7 million share club, claiming top spots as major stockholders in Korea's entertainment and music industry. A Russian television series, A Hoodlum's Promise, Blood on the Asphalt, gaining popularity and bringing in millions of viewers to online platforms in Russia and Ukraine. Some have called for a ban on TV series based on the Soviet collapse amid concerns of glorifying criminality and influencing Russian youth. K-pop icon G-Dragon has announced to establish a foundation aimed at combating drug abuse following his exoneration from allegations of illegal drug use. Galaxy Corporation, a new agency for South Korean rapper G-Dragon, held a news conference in Seoul to officially state that star is free from the drug use charges and announce his future plans. The Emmy-winning Canadian actor and creator Daniel Levy opens up about a personal loss that inspired good grief. The series is set to premiere on Netflix on 5th January. With the imminent US cinematic debut of Michael Mann Ferrari on Christmas, in an interview, the stars emphasized that the film extends beyond automobiles. Michael Mann acknowledges Ferrari as a labor of love as the production took 20 years to be completed. Actor Ed Skrein praised writer and director Zack Snyder for his leadership on the upcoming 2-part sci-fi adventure Rebel Moon. The series is set for release on Netflix on 22nd December. And in sports, Indian batter Rajat Patidar has made his ODI debut in the third match against South Africa at the Boland Park Stadium in Paarl. Phil Salt smashed another magnificent century in England's highest ever T20 international total as they defeated West Indies by 75 runs to square the series. Indian women's cricket team is in commanding position in the one-off test against Australia in Mumbai. The hosts bundled out the visitors for modest 219. In reply, Indian team scored 98 for loss of 1 wicket at the close of play. India's Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur shall grace the launch of official logo, jersey, mascot, torch and theme song for the Khelo India Youth Games in Tamil Nadu. French President Emmanuel Macron stated that France is ready to relocate the 2024 Olympic opening ceremony if the security situation demands. 9-time champions Liverpool will face Fulham in their League Cup semi-final in January, while Championship side Middlesbrough will battle it out with Chelsea. 2 second-half goals from Sergi Roberto secured a 3-2 home win for champions Barcelona against bottom side Almeria in La Liga. Lionel Messi will launch his first full Major League Soccer campaign on February 21st when Inter Miami kick off the 2024 season with a match against Real Salt Lake. Brazil team doctors stated that Neymar will not recover from knee surgery in time to play at next year's Copa America. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.